Hello, this is Liz Kelly Live, and it is Oscar weekend, and we are with CCH Pounder at a Creative Coalition event. And CC, thanks for coming and interviewing with us.
It's so funny that you laughed by saying my name because most people, because of the roles I play, are so serious. So it really tickles me that my very name creates laughter for you. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Well, my middle initial is H2, and it's really important to me, so I think that's why I laughed.
You know what I did was when I was growing up in theater school, the very last thing that we had to do was choose a name for ourselves. And I come from a family of sort of intellectuals and hard workers, and acting was considered a frivolity. And so I didn't want to embarrass them by saying my name was Carol Pounder. So I changed it to my initials. My full name is Carol Christine Ilaria. I couldn't use the whole thing. So I changed it to CCH Pounder. Inadvertently, as I graduated, I was the only girl that got a credit card from the credit card company, and it said, "Congratulations, Mr. Pounder, on your graduating from college." So it comes in really handy having an initial and then showing up as the woman that I am.
I love that story. So tell us about your work with the Creative Coalition and supporting arts and education.
Well, let me see. I've been working with them for about 6 or 7 years now. Um, it's headed by Tim Daly, of course, which you know already. But we do try to advocate for arts in the public school system, of which I truly believe in. And even though I'm not a product of a public school system, I have seen the results of it in people who very rarely get the opportunity to go to museums, to paint, sing, draw, dance, to package that with math and English and so on. So I find that when you mix the two, sometimes the thing that you didn't understand in mathematics, sometimes in dance, when you see your first angle by the way the professor tells you how to extend your arm, and she says, "There, you're creating a triangle," and it suddenly, bling, a light bulb goes on, and so you start to see the world differently. So I really believe in it, and we've been trying to do this and keep arts alive, and I hope that we're getting through to you thick numbskulls out there who don't have it. Was I too strong? Was that too much?
No, I think that was perfect. And I think with Oscar weekend, we're really celebrating the arts. And last night I went and saw the animation nominees, and it was just amazing. And that creativity coming out of the U.S. is so important, I think, for our future.
Well, I think, we've spent the last 2 decades sort of farming everything out in this kind of very laissez-faire way where, okay, you guys do it, it's so much cheaper. And while you're farming it out, you're also not educating anyone about it. So we've come full circle where so much of the stuff is from outside that we don't have any people that stand up for us and say, "Oh yes, we learned that here. I learned that in California or New York or Iowa." And so I think we finally got the message that if we keep just farming stuff out because it's cheaper, it's going to end up being a disaster for all of us. So you cannot consume if you don't have the education to buy the stuff.
I agree. So, since it is Oscar weekend, I want to ask you, what is your favorite Best Picture? Who are you rooting for? Anything about Oscar weekend that you wanted to share?
Well, I'm not really rooting for anyone, but I'll tell you, I saw some amazing films. Amor touched me the most because I am at the age where I'm surrounded by elderly people who will be departing in one way or another. And so, as I'm part of that baby boomer age, I think that somehow that really touched me. And Miss Riva did a job that was sublime. Um, I remember keeping my eyes cast down past Mr. Spielberg at one of those talks that we had, and I felt his eyes piercing me, and I finally went, "Be brave, look up and say hi." And I looked up and I said, "Thank you. Thank you very much," because I thought that was one of the great bits of educational filming where it's just about the amendments It's my last term in office. These are the things that, legacy-wise, I want to get done after all the pressure, after all the haranguing, after all the backroom trading. And it was amazing to see that quite possibly we haven't changed very much in terms of how we get things done here with lobbyists and so on. And the life of Pi was beautiful to look at. Ang Lee is a marvelous director. So those are the few things that I really was touched by. Now, there were some unexpected things. I hated Silver Lining Playbook for the first 15 minutes, and then it was as if I got my foot trapped in something. You know those things sometimes on television when you're changing channels and you just get stuck? And I just got stuck with that. And so kudos to those people, because I got completely caught up in that. Very well done. Argo is probably going to fly really high. Probably going to fly really, really high. And I think that's the lot of them, isn't it? I don't think I've left anyone out. Somebody seems to be missing.
Les Mis.
Oh. The thing about Les Mis is that once you've seen it in the theater and you get that emotional pull, sometimes film, it's really hard to get it from film. I got it from this film. So I'm so proud of the films this year. It's not that I don't want to pick out anyone over anything. It's just that I'm really happy that we've had such a rotten 2012 that people just seem to have gone out and done their own thing. I'm going to get it done this way. It's going to be independent. It's going to be co-produced, whatever. And finally we've arrived at making films that you want to make as opposed to what you think the box office will bring. And I think because of that, we're going to be over the moon for the next 3 years before we fall back into our regular crappy pattern. But that's how I feel.
Great. Well, thank you so much. Is there anything else you want to add?
No, I think you're going to get all kinds of responses for this year, because I think it's a wonderful year, a wonderful crop of films. And I'm just really happy when I look up there and I kind of go, okay, we did our audience proud.
Very proud.
Yeah, it's good.
All right. Well, that's a wrap. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. It's good talking with you.
CCH Pounder.
And you're still laughing. That's good.